My name's Max Sinnerberg. Welcome in everyone to a brand new TV show spoiler review here at Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Sinnerberg, and today I am breaking down the Amazon Prime Video show Invincible Season 4, Episode 4, titled Herm. So if you guys welcome in to Max Talks Movies. Last week I recapped and gave a full spoiler review of the first three episodes. So as always, I am going full spoiler talk with this review today. So if you've not seen any of Invincible, especially episode 4 of season 4, be warned. This is a full-on spoiler review for Invincible that starts right now. So I was watching it thinking that a lot of people were not going to like this episode. I woke up the next day because I watch this usually on Wednesday nights so I can give you a Thursday review. And this got bashed by a lot of people, this episode. I, is it a, how do I explain this? Yes, it's not dealing with the big circumstance. It's not I wouldn't call it a filler episode because I think what Invincible has done really well is there's a lot of episodes that might feel like filler episodes, if that's like a Titan episode or if that's the alien invasion stuff, that all gets brought back at some point. And I still thought the beginning of this episode and the very last scene of the episode were really awesome. I still had a good time with the in-between. Sure, it was probably my least favorite episode of the four that we've gotten so far. But I don't think it being like a good episode and not a great episode means that the show is bad or this episode was bad. I think it really shows you that if people are going to bash this episode, that people do have extremely high expectations for the show, which is fair because it's one of the best shows on television over the last 5 years. So let's break down this episode. The episode starts with a really great scene between Mark and Art, who's obviously the one who's been making the costumes for superheroes in this universe. And there's a really good scene where Mark basically is explaining that he doesn't feel right to be wearing this costume. And Art said, Mark continues to say that he's turning into his dad and all of these things. And Art goes, your dad never came in here at any time to discuss much real things like this, like you are. You clearly care about the world. When you first came in here, you were Mr. Go Lucky, wanted to save the day. And guess what? The world isn't as peachy as you expected. I thought that was a really good scene. But Mark gets then summoned to hell by Damien Darkblood, who is one of my favorite characters in season 1 of the show. This devil murder investigator, like such a fascinating character. He was put back to hell by Cecil after Damien Darkblood was figuring it out that Omni-Man was the one who killed the Guardians of the Globe in season 1. And Cecil wanted to keep that a bit under wraps. So he sent Damien back to hell, and Damien's really been trying to work his way either back up the food chain as pertains to with Satan or getting himself back to the surface level. So you have the back and forth between Damien and Mark. Damien needs Mark's help because there's this volcanic woman. Also, Satan in the show is voiced by Bruce Campbell, which was cool to see. We also had Valenica. Hope I'm saying her name. That's the character who's like that volcanic woman who is the big villain of the episode. She's voiced by Indira Varma. Really cool character. That first fight scene was really well animated between the demons going up against her, where she really, punched, especially Damien's sister, right through the mouth, like really gross stuff. And the more she gained power, the more gory the kills were. It is amazing with Invincible how you know that it's going to be extremely gory every week, and it still takes me off guard and shocks me. So really credits to the creators for Invincible for always making the gore and the violence shocking every single week that you're watching the show. So they have the help. Mark helps with getting the crown for Satan. And I thought they did a really good job exploring how simple-minded the Earth people and humans are while talking about hell and heaven. Like Mark wanted to kill Satan right away when he saw him in the episode, and then Damon's like, it's not that simple. This scene behind me, you see throughout this review here, is one of my favorite jokes on the show, where, he keeps putting on this suit and this mask and this helmet. And to talk, he just keeps taking it off. So he takes it on and off and on and off. And it's very funny because we see that in so many Marvel and DC properties where characters have those take off, put on mask, and they just keep doing it to talk. And Mark, it was a very funny scene. I was definitely laughing throughout. There was actually really a surprising amount of comedy that I thought worked in the episode. But it looked like they were going to finally beat Valentika, but obviously at the very end, she says that she basically can't die, and she's looking like she's going to be causing problems on Earth because Damien, after all this, gets sent back to Earth to investigate. And in the post-credit scene, we learn that she is doing something to Earth for a reason. She's being summoned to Earth for a reason. It's Damien's job to figure out why the Earthlings are putting her in a position where she needs to come up and cause some damage. But it's really all about that final scene. We also had a scene with not Amber, Eve with William, who, yes, obviously has changed voice actors. Andrew Rannells has been the voice actor for William since season one, for the first three seasons. Brandon Scott Jones took over for William. I gotta say, I'm sure I can get used to it throughout the rest of the season, but it really took me out of the scene because it definitely did not sound like William at all. And I was trying to figure out, I was like, I'm trying to make sure I'm not an idiot here and thinking that this is a different, the same voice actor, because it clearly was not. But Eve has a scene with William where, she's like, I'm pregnant. I feel complicated, conflicted about this. I want to be a mom someday, but not right now. Mark's under a lot of stress. I'm under a lot of stress, all of these things. And then Mark learns from Debbie that they're going to move out of the house. They're going to move in with Paul and find a house together. At first, Mark and Oliver are kind of douches about it, but then Mark says, you know what, if you want to be happy, if this makes you happy, we're obviously here for it. And then Oliver jokes that they can find the room. Mark just finally tells Eve that he's just not doing good. He thinks he can get to a point where he's doing good, but right now he's not doing good. And this is where Eve was about to drop the bombshell to Mark that she is pregnant. But right as he says that, he says holy S word, and it is Omni-Man and it is Alan right above the Grayson household. And Nolan saying that there's a war coming and we need you. And that is where we end this episode. I am insanely excited for episode 5. Sure. Was this a top episode of Invincible? No. But for filler episode purposes, again, I think there were worse, honestly, filler episodes in the last 2 seasons of the show. I had a good time of the episode. There was really cool mythology, world building here with Hell. I found it interesting. I like Damien Darkblood. Sure, it wasn't the most, was it kind of a distraction from the main stuff? Absolutely. I would rather be watching the main stuff going on. But for filler, I had a good time with it. It's not a great episode. I think it was like a good, solid episode of TV. It wasn't anything to write home about. But I am so pumped because now Nolan's back on Earth. He's at the actual household where Debbie is, as well as Oliver. How's that interaction going to go between Nolan and Debbie after Nolan called her a pet at the end of season 1? A lot of what ifs. I am so excited to keep covering because we are now at the official halfway point for season 4 of Invincible. 4 more episodes to go. I'll be here the next month breaking down these episodes. So if you like videos like these, guys, subscribe, ring the bell. Please comment down below. What are your thoughts on Invincible Season 4? Do you also not like the episode, or are you like me, surprisingly enjoy the episode? Like the video, and I'll see you guys in another video very soon.